Jay-Z is not done with Tony Buzbee. He's now asking the court to include the NBC interview where the alleged victim, who says she was 13 years old when Sean Diddy Combs and Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, assaulted her. Not only that, Jay-Z's attorneys are seeking sanctions against Tony Buzbee. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So we've been following this Tony Buzbee versus Jay-Z legal situation for weeks now. And you may recall, if you don't, I'll give you a quick synopsis or check out our previous videos on this for further details in this back and forth between Jay-Z and Tony Buzbee. Back in October, Tony Buzbee, who's representing multiple Sean Diddy Combs alleged victims, filed a lawsuit alleging that Sean Diddy Combs and an unknown celebrity, at the time male celebrity, AR'd a 13-year-old girl after a Video Music Awards ceremony. Just a few weeks ago, they refiled that lawsuit and added Jay-Z's name. As you know, a couple of weeks before that, an unknown celebrity filed a lawsuit against Tony Buzbee accusing him of extortion. There's been multiple back and forths between Jay-Z and Tony Buzbee since then, both within court and on social media. And for the very first time, we've seen Jay-Z really confront a rumor and this lawsuit on the public stage. So much so, he was accused by the judge over this case of combative motions. His attorneys faced the judge stating that all of these combative motions is not helping your client. It was just the other day that we reported to you that the court did allow for Jay-Z to officially file for the dismissal of this lawsuit. Well, there's more. According to Rolling Stone, they said Jay-Z has filed a new motion to dismiss the lawsuit of a woman who alleged that Sean Diddy Combs and the Roc Nation mogul SA'd her as a 13-year-old girl during a VMA's after party in 2000. The rapper's real name, Sean Carter, filed his latest bid to have a judge toss the case on Wednesday, highlighting what they claim are impossibilities and inconsistencies in the woman's account. Carter's attorney relied heavily on an interview that the Jane Doe Accuser gave to NBC News back in last December, where she admitted to, quote, making some mistakes in aspects of her story. Carter's lawyers are also seeking that the U.S. District Judge Annalisa Torres impose a monetary sanction on the woman's lawyer, Tony Buzbee, claiming that he failed to properly vet the woman's story before filing the highly explosive case. In a quote, they said to sign a pleading accusing someone of such a horrific crime without adequately vetting the allegation, particularly when the defendant's prominence means that the allegation will be repeated in headlines across the world, is deeply wrong and unethical, Carter's attorney Alex Spiro argued in court papers obtained by Rolling Stone. If lawyers do not face consequences for such a cavalier of effort to destroy another person's reputation and inflict emotional harm on his loved ones, the tactic will proliferate. I believe what Jay-Z's attorneys are saying here, and as I'm reading this, the possibilities of what this could mean, I think this is also a way of telling Tony Buzbee, if you have any other person in your arsenal of alleged victims that have allegations against me, you better make sure you've done your due diligence, because now I'm just showing you what we are willing to do and how far we're willing to go. And that also goes for anyone else that Tony Buzbee might be accusing of allegations, because you remember Tony Buzbee says that he's representing over 120 alleged Sean Diddy Combs victims. But some of these people that might be attached to Sean Diddy Combs and his freak-off parties have already allegedly, according to Tony Buzbee, reached settlement with other victims. Rolling Stone says in a statement to Rolling Stone, Buzbee said that he won't be, quote, bullied or intimidated by Carter and his team. He says Mr. Spiro and his firm are paid by the hour, so they file a lot of junk with the court, he said. Sidebar, again, the court agreed with Tony Buzbee in regards to some of these combative motions from Jay-Z's legal team. He says, with each frantic filing, his team reeks of desperation. He and his team think the laws and the rules do not apply to them. They are flat wrong. They also think they can bully or intimidate counsel for victims by filing meritless and frivolous pleadings full of lies and half-truths. Again, they are dead wrong. We will address the utter lack of merit with his filing with the court rather than with the press. So Jay-Z's attorneys are saying because of this interview that the victim, alleged victim, did, she admitted that there were inconsistencies about who may have taken her home after this alleged party, and some other things. You may recall when this information came out, Jay-Z and his legal team posted on the Roc Nation account, which is still there, highlighting the fact that there was inconsistencies and coming at Tony Buzbee saying that, you see, he is filing frivolous lawsuits without doing his own due diligence and vetting for allegations. The request for dismissal and actions follows Carter's adamant denials and escalating war against Buzbee, who claims to represent more than 120 clients who wish to bring cases against Combs. Calling the allegation, quote, heinous last month, Carter said that he would vigorously defend himself against an idiotic attempt at blackmail. He says, I will not give you one red penny, he wrote in a statement. Representatives for Combs have previously denied the woman's accusations as well. The Jane Doe accuser, who filed her original complaint in October and amended in December to name Carter, claimed that she found her way to Combs' exclusive after party after trying to gain entry to MTV's Video Music Awards in 2000. While waiting outside the venue, Doe, who is now 38 and lives in Alabama, alleged that she met a driver who claimed to work for Combs, who took her to the Bad Boy Entertainment founder after party a few hours later. So she claims that at arriving at this party, she signed an NDA. Then soon after taking sips of her drink, the woman claimed that she began to feel lightheaded and snuck into a bedroom to rest. Combs, Carter, and an unnamed female celebrity allegedly entered the room soon after, according to her complaint. Combs, a quote, aggressively approached plaintiff with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her and said, "You are ready to party," her suit alleged. The men allegedly took turns assaulting Doe while the female celebrity watched. We still have not heard whether or not this unnamed female celebrity has settled with Tony Buzbee or will be filing her own lawsuit like Jay-Z has against Tony Buzbee. But the woman's story, according to Rolling Stone, began to be questioned when her father told NBC that he did not recall ever picking her up, saying that he would remember making a 10-hour road trip to retrieve his teenage daughter. I have made some mistakes, the woman told NBC in a follow-up interview. I may have made a mistake in identifying. Carter's lawyers included a copy of the NBC interview in court paperwork, routinely citing the inconsistencies as justification for why the lawsuit should be dismissed and why Tony Buzbee should be sanctioned. They also pointed out other purported impossibilities in the woman's story, which we've covered as well, including watching the awards show on a jumbotron and Combs owning a home with a U-shaped driveway that was roughly 20 minutes away from Midtown Manhattan. So they were looking for inconsistencies within her story, saying that if this were true, first of all, the law that she's suing under, it only covers New York City. They're saying if this happened, it's probably outside of New York City. And they're saying that this law technically covers December of 2000. And if she's talking about the VMAs, this happened in September of 2000. Carter's attorney says, by any objective measure, the fact that nearly every step in plaintiff's narrative, from her arrival at the VMAs to her interactions with the limousine driver and celebrities to the ride with her father, turns out to be false or highly unlikely, casts considerable doubt on plaintiff's allegations that Mr. Carter arred her, and which he did not. Still, the woman said that she stands by her claims. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me and the route that I took to what happened to me, she said. As Carter fights the Jane Doe's case, he's also going after Buzbee in a separate lawsuit in California, suing the national trial attorney for extortion and defamation for his statements and practices used while pursuing the Jane Doe's case. Buzbee, as you may recall, fired back in his own lawsuit against the rapper's company, Roc Nation, and law firm Quinn Emanuel, claiming that they were using shadowy operatives to illegally entice former Buzbee clients into filing frivolous claims against him, including a former lover accusing Tony Buzbee of giving her a venereal disease. So the situation between Jay-Z and Tony Buzbee continues. It will be interesting to see what the court says. As you know, the court has already reprimanded Jay-Z and his legal team, but it looks like Jay-Z and his legal team are taking the proper steps to continue their fight against Tony Buzbee. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts on this latest update in a Sean Diddy Combs related but Jay-Z lawsuit. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.